Hello friends, welcome to our today's session. In our today's Spark session, we are going to see the chapter 3 of end-to-end Spark application development. In our chapter 1 and chapter 2, we saw how to handle the missing data or the bad records in a file, and in our second chapter, we saw how to partition the file using a date column which we created using some transformations, and in our third chapter we are going to see how to avoid the hard coding that we are doing in our Spark application and use the config file for those variables that are being hard coded. Basically, in our real-time scenario, what we will be doing is we will not directly hard code all the variables like we did in our previous application, Spark application. The input variable that we gave in spark.read.csv, we will not be directly hard coding in our business use cases in our real-time scenario. Instead, what we will be preferring is like we will be maintaining a config file or also param file or also profile file, and we will define all those variables inside that file. While developing a Spark application, we will be reading that config file and using the variable defined inside that file. In such a way, we will be implementing it in a production. And before starting our today's demo session, let us have a snapshot of our previous chapter 1 and chapter 2 and quickly move on to our chapter 3. Come, let's move into a session. As you see here, this is the code that we developed in our previous session. We read the input file, and our input file is a weather history data from 2006 to 2016, and after reading it, we splitted the input records into invalid records and valid records as a data frame using these conditions. And after splitting it, we also added a date only column for which we did some transformations using functions like from Unix timestamp, and then with that date only column we partitioned by and wrote it into a output. So this is what we did in our last two chapters. If you have missed the session of chapter 1 and chapter 2, I will give it an I button. Please have a look into it before moving on to chapter 3. Now let us start with our chapter 3. We can observe that we have hard-coded the path values directly in our script itself, which is not advisable while we are in a production environment. So in this video, what we are going to learn is we are going to use a config file to read this input path, and we are not hard coding it directly in a script. That's what we are going to do in video. Let's see how we are doing it. For our demo purpose, since we are going to look into the config file alone, I will remove these lines of writing the file into the output. Instead of that, I will just give show command to see the output. And also I will comment out these lines. So this is our project explorer directory, in which we have our input file, output folder, and then the source folder, inside which we have our PyScript. Now what I am doing is I am going to create a separate folder, and I am naming it as config. Inside this config, I am once again creating a file, and I am naming this file as config.ini. So we have created a separate config file. Here we are going to define our input path. Input underscore path equals I am giving the file path. We don't need quotes here. I am removing the quotes. So now I have defined the full path. In our config path, we can define it with the partitions as well, like I am doing it here. Like if we have two paths, like we have to define input path and then the output path, I can create two things. Like the first one is input path that we defined. Now I can give some output path, but since we are not writing any output in our program now, I'm not giving anything, just showing for a demo. So in this way we can define our config file. I am saving the file. So now our config file for the input path has been given. Now we have to read this config file, and we have to give it as input to read.csv. So for that we have a package in our Python called config parser. So we are going to use this, and I'm creating object for this. Let me say config read equal to so we have created object, and now we will be reading a file. For reading a file, what we are doing is config.read, and inside this I'm going to give R and the file name. Here you know that we are inside source path and we have to go to the config path. So what I'm doing is --/ config / config.ini. So in this way we are reading the file. Once after reading the file, we have to assign the input variables. So now our input path equal to config read, and here how we will be reading the input path from the config file is this will act as a key and this will act as a value. So in such a way we have to give it. First one will be a key and the second one will be a value. So in this way we will define a input path. Let me print the input path so that it will be clear for you. And here we use the input path to read the CSV file. Let us run this code to check whether our input file from the config has been read, and then it is taken as input to input df. Let us check that. Okay, here I have missed. We have to give config.get to get the key value path. So now we are done. Let me execute the code. This running, we can see like the path has been printed. The input path has been printed as a first one, and the show command that we gave at the final one, we gave a invalidate.df, which is also being printed. So by this way we will be able to use config file to read all our parameters. We can also read a schema as well from the config file. which we will see in our next chapter. And that's it for today's, guys. Please try this in your own machine, and if you face any problems, please mail me or post your comments in a comment box. I will help you. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and also like this video if you really like my content. Thanks for watching.